Hi, I'm Mike, and today we take a look at snow on the ranch, what its purpose is, why we need it, and how much of it we need to actually make a difference. So put on your snow cap and let's get chilly on Our Wyoming Life. Hi guys, and welcome to Our Wyoming Life. I hope you don't mind me coming inside. It's extremely bright outside there with all the snow. Today we are talking about the snow that hits the ranch each and every winter and why it really matters to farmers and ranchers. Now, if you've been watching this winter, you've seen how open the last few months have been, meaning that we haven't had much snow. While we were expecting snow, we got 50 and 60 degree weather, even hitting a record high of 66 back in December. Obviously, it's weird and not normal, but what are the effects that this will have, this overly warm and dry winter? What are the effects it's going to have, and is it going to come back to haunt us? And that's what I set to find out. While opinions may differ on how desirable snow is, depending on who you talk to, farmers and ranchers around the world count on it for a number of different reasons. The snowpack and snowfall has a huge impact on everything from groundwater to runoff, to plant health, and the root systems of everything from a single blade of grass to trees and shrubs. Here in Northeast Wyoming, as in the entire state and a number of states around us, we're facing a unique situation this year with snow. Or maybe I should say, the lack thereof. In the winter, snow is our only source of moisture. Just like rain in the spring and summer, it is essential. I learned a term this week, and it's called flash drought. We've all heard of flash floods, which are defined as a sudden and local flood, typically due to heavy rain. The Weather Service actually goes a step beyond and says a flash flood is flooding that begins within 6 hours of that rain. A flash drought, on the other hand, refers to a short period of warm surface temperatures and low and rapidly decreasing soil moisture. That flash drought hit Wyoming in the summer and fall of 2020 and has left more than 97% of the state affected by drought, over 60 million acres. A year ago, only a quarter of the state was affected by the lack of moisture. That's an increase of 45 million acres in just a few months. 30% of the state is considered to be in extreme drought. 3 counties in Wyoming have been declared by the U.S. Department of Agriculture as disaster areas because of that drought. The worst you can get, by the way, is called exceptional drought, which in effect, most of the state of Wyoming at this point is considered a desert. It's hard to believe. Look outside, it's winter, there's snow on the ground, and it doesn't look that much different than any other winter. But in reality, it's what's happening below that snow where the damage may already be done. The flash drought happened last year when we had abnormally dry months followed by an extremely warm fall. 2020 was the 5th driest year since they began keeping records in 1895. Wyoming is considered to be part of the High Plains, along with Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. And here you can see the impact drought has had on the state over the last year and how it's spread across the entire region. Now, as we move farther into winter, we realize what we may have been missing over the last few months. A major benefit of snow over winter is that it functions as an excellent insulator of the soil. Without snow, cold temperatures can freeze soil deeper and deeper. That frost, as it moves down in the ground, can damage the root system of ground covers and grasses. Soil heaving is caused by the freeze and thaw of topsoil, which can break the roots and dry out the plants. One of the biggest advantages of snow over the winter is moisture. While the ground may be frozen, when it does thaw, the snow releases moisture into the soil that's required to combat that soil heaving and lubricate plants and their roots. That which is not required to combat the dryness of the soil is whisked away in the form of runoff. That snow melt helps fill aquifers, reservoirs, ponds, and rivers. That in turn supplies water for drinking, irrigation, and household use. Snowpack is constantly measured throughout the state, connected to different river basins. Wyoming's current snowpack is about 75%, compared to 140% last year at this same time. Most of that snow is located in the mountains, but we here on the ranch have a smaller ecosystem that works much the same. Our county averages about 60 inches of snow per year. That snow, when it melts here, it saturates the soil, then it runs off, much as it does in the mountains, and fills reservoirs. Those reservoirs are used as a source of livestock water, which we need for our animals. A common rule of thumb is that 10 inches of snow equates to about 1 inch of water. That holds true when the snowfall is right around 30 degrees. Snow that falls at warmer temperatures up to 36 degrees or 2 degrees Celsius creates an even heavier snow, one that can be 8 inches per 1 inch of water. Sometimes that's called heart attack snow because it's so hard to shovel. But around here, most of our snow in the winter falls at less than 30 degrees, limiting the amount of moisture in it, and the most used ratio here is about 12 to 1. 12 inches of snow to 1 inch of water. That gives us about 6 inches of actual moisture per winter. Each inch of rain is about 27,000 gallons of water per acre, and it's essential to our pastures, to our animals, and to us. This year, we haven't come close to our 60 inches of snow. While we've continued to have unseasonably warm weather, in fact, we had more rain than snow this winter, our total precipitation is about 2 inches so far since October. Last year at this same point, we were well over 4 inches. So, where does this leave us? Well, it's with the hope that we have more snow on the way, and as much as I hate to say it, more cold weather. The Farmer's Almanac is now calling this winter the winter of the Great Divide. Cold and snowy in the north and east, drought in the west, and everything crazy in between. Unfortunately, we may be in that crazy spot. The Bureau of Land Management is already calling on those that carry leases on them and other public lands to start looking at reducing their herd sizes, saying that the residual forest that supported livestock grazing back in 2020 is now gone. We do have more snow coming, along with precipitation, but it may not make up for it, according to Tom Bergentino, the Director of Water Resources in the Wyoming State Climate Office. He also added that the snows that we're getting now, it's kind of hard to tell whether there's any beneficial water in them. Out in the middle of empty reservoirs, we can see what's missing, and the only hope is that the winds of change blow a little snow our way. The good news is, I guess this isn't our first rodeo. Prairie grasses are extremely resilient, so our soil structure is actually very sandy, allowing the soil heaving to have minimal impact on the plant's roots. With more snow on the way this spring, we can look forward to melt moving fast and filling reservoirs on the ranch. Aquifers, which are filled from mountain runoff, are still running in excess from the last few years, so that's good news. And at this point, all we can do is wait and see. I don't normally sit and hope for snow, pray for colder temperatures to head out and feed in, but this year has taught me that it does matter, and it makes a huge difference to farmers and ranchers. We don't know what the next few months will bring. There isn't much point in stressing about it either. What will come, will come. And we, just like we've always done, will react to it. It may mean reducing our herd size, but that will it'll actually more likely result in probably supplemental feeding. And we have over 100 pregnant cows out here right now, and they're going to start having their calves this spring. We will take care of them. We have to. It's our job, no matter what Mother Nature throws at us. So that's why snow is so important to the ranch. Why we count on it to protect our precious forage for the cows, to give soil a head start in creating even more grasses and hay, to fill reservoirs. And most of all, while we know that Mother Nature can be merciless, snow gives us the blanket that protects the ranch all winter long. And without it, winter's not complete. Thanks for coming along. Subscribe and get even more from the ranch right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram for behind-the-scenes stuff and a whole lot more. Follow along as we track this warm weather and what it does to our summer grazing rates and how it will affect harvest, and if this snow and snows to follow will make a difference in the rest of the year. That's it for me. I'm probably just going to go take the kids sledding. Another reason why we need snow here on the ranch. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time on Our Wyoming Life.